All right, welcome everybody. Let's get into this. Cool. Hey, Dre, Nartic, welcome. Well, that's weird. Okay, this is the mutant one. That's fine. Hmm. What do I want to do here? Let's allow actual full-strength bleeds to come in. Hey, Joey, how's it going? Oh, nice, Omega. Is he live? Did he go live? If so, I missed it. Yeah, that's fine. Funny thing is, I normally do this on the later side, which I guess is good for me, but my prestige is fine. Let's do it now. Oh, I got you, Omega. Nice, Doctor. Hey, Floyd, welcome. Oh, I remember the table read for this one. One of our quest designers really enjoys doing Mojo. He tends to give himself a bit of a throat ache at those things. Hey, Easy, how's it going? You know what? Purely for speed. 1 second. I'm going to boost through Classic, and I'm not sure I'm going to boost through Elder. That might sound backwards, but I want to see how it feels. But I don't want to spend any more time in Classic than I need to. Yeah, no worries, Joe. It is chunking through our force field pretty quickly. The Furies are also pretty good. Stupid poison. Ugh, it's always my least favorite thing about this, is I accidentally hit block once. And the poison hurts.
I'm assembling a team.
Alright, let's go ahead and use Apocalypse. That's right. I remember people saying that Spiral was a problem. No, come here. Let me parry you. Thank you. Yeah. I saw it called out that Spiral won't be used on this kind of node again in the future, if that makes anybody feel better. I also specifically saw the tuning of the Biohazard called out. We're probably going to end up scaling that one, because right now we only have Biohazard and Biohazard Incursions. And the Biohazard Incursions version might have been a bit too weak here. Nope, not that. Never that. We'll figure something out there. Yeah, I would agree. We kind of need more details there. Like, because the thing is, they all have the same prestige. And so the advice for StatCast is pretty similar to the advice for Stat Focus, right? I wouldn't recommend using special damage on a prowess character. Remember that special damage doesn't boost red numbers. Respect diminishing returns, so don't use crit rate or crit damage on characters that already have a lot of those. That kind of thing, right? Relics will get turned back on for defense, so think about that as well. Like making your bullseyes tankier is a good thing, etc. Probably not, Garvit. Because help all is potentially help like 700, right? And my understanding is that that's just not worth it for the potential hit to the servers. If that makes sense. The issue with Spiral is that Fervor boosts the chance of Biohazard to apply both the bleeds and the poisons, which was an intended part of her design, but is maybe a little bit rude here. Nice, Noctic. That's awesome. That's also cool, easy. Yeah, basically what Easy said, Nightmare. They're completely different. They're both very good, but they will do wildly different things in your roster, and it depends on what your roster needs. Exactly, Omega. Oh, Ashanth, come on, man. Oh, that's fun. Nice little whiff there. Yes, yes, you did. I know that you are capable of asking that question in a more adult way. Count Nefaria can do generic fights, yes. He's just kind of generally tanky, has really good resistances and everything. Um, yeah. Like, Black Cat in her best matchups is generally much faster. The Count is a little bit slower, but he's also just kind of a generic bruiser. Excuse me. I mean, it's the first iteration of the new EQ. It would be pretty dang impressive if there was no room for improvement now, wouldn't it? Yeah, I believe Havoc's feedback damage is boosted by the Furies. It's been a while since I've looked, but that's my that's my memory of it. Those are definitely two different questions, Andrew. I think the simplest answer to the first is that when there's scaling difficulty, it doesn't make sense for there to also be a bunch of static ones, right? But the larger thing is just that the reason that scaling difficulty was even thought of in the first place is that a different EQ for every progression forever is not a sustainable model. Um, like we've been feeling that for a long time, right? I know the community thinks like, why didn't Valiant EQ come out sooner? And it was the same thing before that. Why didn't Thronebreaker EQ come out sooner? Why didn't Cavalier EQ come out sooner? Because it's an incredible lift to actually maintain a decently designed EQ for every or even most progressions every month forever. And so one of the things that the team was trying to do here was actually crush it down to just one difficulty on purpose. And so that's why there's not the ability to run through all the others, right? Um, you do have the ability to choose difficulty to some extent. It's just that right now it does give you a floor and goes up. That feedback has been brought up. Like some people do want the ability to tank their rewards and make it easier. We'll look at that. No promises. But I don't think it's completely fair to say that you can't choose your difficulty. You just can't run multiple ones. Hey, Snoops. I do understand where you're coming from there, Ashanth. Like, why change everything all at once? There's an argument to be made there, but I think the shortest answer is just that if we don't change a bunch of things at once, then we have to deal with people complaining about every change individually, and it's kind of just a slow rolling fight over the course of several months. And that's really not fun. Um, the other thing is that, and we kind of saw this with like, the change to EQ before the new daily quests were out. People were like, but what about my units? Well, they got moved into the daily quests, right? Let me finish my thought before I get sidetracked. If we only do one thing at a time, if we only do particular changes and not the whole thing, then one of the possibilities we run into is that people start talking about the impact of one change and how it does or does not work, what its consequences are. And they'll say things like, this is bad because X happened, but the thing is, X was supposed to be solved by one of the other changes, right? Like, the name for the kind of design that goes into overhauling something like this is called systems design in the industry. And you have to think about the whole thing as a system, right? And as a web of systems. And so you don't, like, you want to design proactively, not reactively. You want to what am I thinking? Yeah, proactively, not reactively. So you want to go, okay, how is this supposed to work as an end product? And not like, okay, well, let me change just this one thing and then see what breaks and try and fix it, and then see what breaks and try and fix it, and that kind of thing. So I hope that makes sense. Um, yeah, let me go on for a bit. No, you do not have to explore Classic. I believe Kabam is not publicly traded because it's owned by Netmarble, but Netmarble is publicly traded in Korea. So, kind of. Oops. That's fine. Yeah, we're aware, SYC. Got to fix in, but it will probably be next build. That was actually fixed by the HUD problem this morning. It just obviously wasn't worth it, right? Because it broke a dozen other things. So we did try and do the fast thing there. I I'll be honest, Black Hole, I don't have a lot of sympathy for the recoil problem specifically. Um I get where you're coming from. There are yeah, there are potential things we could do there, but recoil is supposed to be something that impinges your sustainability. That's kind of the whole point of the masteries. And so if running the masteries all the time is making it harder for you to sustain your champions through questing, that doesn't really feel like something that Kabam needs to fix. Yeah, same issue with Gene, very much related. That one we might be able to fix faster, but we'll see. Okay, bunch of science champions. Cool. Hey Jim, how's it going? Oh, wait. Jess doesn't have a relic. Yeah, let's just do that for now. Rank it up later. We'll be in touch. Evening, Victor. Oh, what's the issue with Overseer? It's okay, Snoops. I'll get to it. I'm playing Clair Obscure. I'm having a grand old time. Gotcha. Gotcha, Victor. Whoops. Yeah, Clair Obscure is excellent. Would highly recommend. They're gonna keep coming out with good games. It's really a pain. Yeah, good luck, Asham. Alright. Nice. Didn't even need the reinfliction. Yeah, we'll see, Snoops. I got a long way to go before retirement. Whoops. Okay, I figured there was a good chance that the special one wouldn't work. I'm a little annoyed that I blew it with the special too. Hey, I got the vulnerability. Okay, a little early. What's going on with his appearances? Quick question, just started leveling up my relic, but I already finished normal EQ. Will my rewards update if I pass the threshold? Yeah, no, you're locked. I imagine that's mostly a tech limitation. I don't think there was a design reason for that. I could be wrong. Nice, Victor. Although I do want to call it for everybody who's still misunderstanding this. The tiers are not discrete. Improving your prestige will improve your rewards even if you don't get to a tier, right? The tiers are examples. They're telling you, like, if you're at this level, you get this much, but any improvement to your prestige is probably going to improve something. So don't worry about needing to hit the tiers. What made me decide to rank 4 Viv? She hits hard, and I like playing her. Basically. I've always liked Viv. Oh, come on. Thank you. Come here. Thank you. I'll check out the dialogue when I'm done with it. You're not the only one who's been confused. I don't know. That whole thing is difficult. I'll see if I think it's clear. when I get there. That kind of thing is tough. Because if we didn't have those examples, then people would say that we weren't telling them enough about how things scaled. But having those examples, whoops, can confuse people. So what are you gonna do? You jerk. Threw it as soon as that was done. Right, come here. Thank you. Best relic for the count? I don't know how much there really is one, honestly. I'd probably pick one of the newer stat casts. Maybe the cap one. Nice, Ishant. I'm glad you got him. Well, at least whitelisted is a good time. Oh, dude, Bishop Special 2 has been one of my weaknesses for a long time. It is what it is. Yeah, Thing Relic. The Thing Relic is okay. The reason I said the cap one is because Nefaria already has high energy and physical resistance. Okay, how do I gain power here? Ah, of course. Hey, stud, how's it going? Weird saying that. Yeah, Spider-Man 2099 is definitely defensible for her. Or for the count. Whoops. Alright, throw it. Kind of a waste, but that's fine. Would be funny if her special one hit us and she tried to heal, but that's not good. Okay, let's see if we can do this better this time. Forgot that wasn't just for basics. Alright. Give me power. Whoops. No more than everything else in the game, Nightmare. That's just how diminishing returns works. Gaining 1,000 physical resistance is less important if you already have 6,000, you know? But that's a cool icon. Patriot's special one is trickier than it looks, Snoops. Although, do you maybe mean his special too? Because that's the one that catches me. What a fascinating turn of events that shall prove to be. Maestro's fun to voice. Ouch. Yeah, I also appreciate the caustic temper being broader than that. Okay, punish specials, la da 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 da. Delayed specials, throw specials. Cool. Which adaptive power shield is super annoying against Jess. Because of her stupid weaknesses. Okay, I'm gonna bring a skill champion. I'm not dealing with that. Actually, you know what? Patriot's weakness resistance sounds fun there, given the stoppable. Let's do that instead. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, cool. Dude, future Ant-Man's projectile art is... People love to say the art team doesn't miss. I'm gonna go with miscalculated then. Because I think that was flat out a mistake. It's good. Patriot was a lot better than the community narrative before the tune-up. Very good now. He's narrower than some champions, but only in certain ways of thinking. He's sustainable, tanky, and hits hard. What can I ask for? Whoops. care, Omega. Enjoy the sushi. Did I go for the sales? At least not yet. I might still get something. I'm at least gonna like get the last Solvark piece I need from this sale. I haven't decided if I'm doing any more. We'll see. Hey, Dilly. The good news is most of the fun stuff isn't in my wheelhouse, but still fun, of course. Of course, why wouldn't she evade the very first combo ender? That's what she does. That's funny, Dilly. To be clear, I helped where I could. There were just only so many places I could help, you know? Pretty far out of my wheelhouse. Whoops. Ma'am. That was my fault. Should have made sure she was stunned. Oh, I'm excited, Snoops. I'm very excited to draft that set. I'm annoyed that they couldn't figure out the rights, and so we're gonna have to talk about it. with different card names and different card art on Arena versus in paper. I think that is so incredibly stupid and feels like a massive dropped ball. But I'm looking forward to the set. You know what? I'm sorry, Tyler, if you ever see this. I'm going to skip the dialogue because I was there for the first draft of it. So, it's not disrespectful. I know how the story goes. Whoa! Late on the parry. Alright, that's fine. Heaving gloves. Yeah, Count versus White Tiger is fun. Yeah, in hindsight, stupid thing to risk, Snoops, but I thought I had it. Yeah, exactly. Reminder to self that Shuri can block unblockable specials. Ouchie. How did that happen? Yeah, 1.5 is great. Like, it is what it is. It's what you expect. Excuse me. No unstoppable for you. Oh, that is so much fun. Actually landing big specials against Jessica. Highly recommend. My fault. That was stupid. Yeah, I should have baited it. Alright, this shouldn't kill me. Hurt? Didn't kill me. This might. Whoops. Nice. Cinematic finish. Nice, easy. Yeah. I like Patriot a lot. Don't push the opponent to special 3, and most champions work better. Fun fact. I have a more complicated question than I think you intended it as, Nightmare. Like, the answer is kind of yes and no. Patriot is a member of the Young Avengers who, in their first appearance, patterned themselves after the Avengers, right? Hulkling looked more like Hulk because he was a shapeshifter. Wiccan was calling himself Asgardian and was focusing on the lightning side of his powers, and so that was an obvious homage to Thor. Patriot was using a shield, and so was obviously playing on Captain America. But, like, he was not really handed the mantle the same way that, like, Bucky or Captain America, like Sam Wilson were. It's not really the same. Yeah, I hear you, Globs. Patriot is the grandson of Isaiah Bradley, though, who canonically in Marvel lore was Captain America before Captain America. And so, like, there's definitely a link there. It's complicated. I hope that wasn't sarcastic, because that was about as simple as I could make it. But assuming it wasn't, no problem. I haven't really used Yelena much offensively. Let's have some fun. And yeah, no problem. So Gwenpool, Gwen Stacy is Deadpool. Yeah, that that one is definitely worse. For those who don't know, Gwenpool is neither Deadpool nor Gwen Stacy. Her name is just Gwen Pool, and the authors were having a giggle, as they say. Is his crit rate really that bad? Or am I just getting very unlucky? Bro, the special lock coming at the worst time. Yeah, in hindsight, that probably would have been wise, Joey. But I shouldn't need it, I just needed 2 crits. On a freaking skill champion. There we go. What is his crit rating? Because I'm sure I have the stat focus too, right? It might be block proficiency. Too late to change that now, so. Yeah, okay, I have energy resist. Is it really that bad? 18%. It is lower than normal. I don't think Rolk has crit resist, does he? I thought it was just physical resist. Am I misremembering that? Because then that's fine, and that's on me for not remembering. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just physical resist. I don't think he has any crit resist. So I was still statistically likely to get a crit basically every 5 hits. So yeah, I was very unlucky. Okay, it happens. Where are you seeing that, Easy? I just looked at Red Hulk on Khonshu Zonk. He's not showing... Oh, the stats are not in the order I thought they were. No, you're right. He has 8%. Okay, then that makes sense. Okay, then I only had a 10% chance to crit, and that all makes sense. Annoying, but fair. Hey, Pablo. Okay, this should go better, right? If I somehow forgot that Airwalker has crit resist, I'm going to scream. That's fine. Willing to be late. Sorry to hear the notifications aren't working. But I'm glad you caught us. Oof. Okay, I don't know what happened with my buttons there. I'm not really accepting responsibility for that. Is what it is. No, I have not, Pablo. I've been busy finishing up my November champion. My spare time has been going to supporting various live issues and some anti-cheat work, and I just haven't had the bandwidth for it. I still have the note, and if I finish things up and have some extra time, then maybe I'll do it, because, yeah, a lot of us are busy, so it is not even really a bug fix person for me to pass it to at the moment. I do intend to look at it, but it's okay. I'll get to it. Yeah, Dilly. Favorite beer? Um, Probably changes over time. I had a nice local one I like tonight. Dang it, I went for the heavy before I clocked the special lock. I hate the special lock so much. But yeah, the one I had today was called Hipster Sauce by 11 Below Brewing in Houston. I quite like that one. Um, One of my favorite breweries is Evergreen in Pennsylvania. Really like their stuff. They have some very good both IPAs and like lactose sours. If you can at all stand beers that have fruity tastes in them. Highly recommend looking for them if you're in that neck of the woods. Evergreen is fantastic. Bell's is generally a good brewery. I like a lot of their stuff. Two Hearted is one of my go-to IPAs. Oberon is excellent. They had more of a tropical Oberon recently. I like that as well. Parish down in Louisiana, Work in Progress, turned me on to them. Their sip series is really interesting. Ghost and Machine is one of my favorite IPAs. West Coast Ghost is good as well. The West Coast variation on it. Dogfish Head in general is very good. Honestly, I haven't been quite as in love with them lately. I do think they're getting a little bigger, and I know it's such like a hipster annoying thing to say, "Oh, they're getting too big. They're not as good as they used to be." But like, it's not even that. It's just I think they're going a little bit broader with their appeal, and so I haven't seen as many of the like microbrews that they used to do that I really enjoyed. Like years ago, they have a series called like beer to drink music to, which intentionally doesn't make sense, and it was this like incredible strawberry kiwi thing. Oh, it's so good. But like that said, 60-minute IPA is good. I like Sea Quench. Dogfish Head Citrus Squall is another one I like a lot. And then Blue Owl Brewing in Austin has some good stuff. They have like a pink guava brute that's really good that I've got a few of right now. I just threw a bunch of things at the wall, and a lot of them you probably can't get, but that's what's on my mind lately. Oh, I know, Pablo. I was telling somebody earlier today, my first beer ever was PBR, which I really don't like. The only reason I tried it at all was because I was splitting the can with a pretty girl. Um, my second beer ever was Bell's Oberon, and that's yep, I'm a beer snob. Never going back. And I think that answers Dilly's question. For the record, I do like some cheaper beers. It's just I have to still think that they taste good, and I don't think PBR tastes good. I don't think Natty Light tastes good. I like Yingling though. Corona's pretty decent. That feedback has been heard, Sammy, and I'm not really the one to give it to, but yeah, just it's been heard. Don't worry. No college phase of Natter Days? No, I got kind of lucky in that I skipped that by basically not drinking at all in college. Um, and I have some very light regrets about that. Like, I spent a lot of time practicing late at night. It would have been nice to be invited to slash go to a few more parties. Not like the big ones necessarily, but, you know, I liked my friends. Would have been nice to see some of them more in that context. Um, yeah, but for the most part, I didn't really drink. I think I had probably 5 or 6 drinks before I turned 21. And most of it was in that same part of the country where I had the PBR and the Oberon. So it was like those beers, and I had the local stuff. Like I had Bell's because it was in Michigan. I also had it was in Petoskey. So if any of y'all have had the good fortune of trying out the Petoskey Brewery up in northern Michigan, there was also some of their stuff. It's a fantastic brewery. They had a really good Belgian triple called Horny Monk, and yeah, I'm not doing anything to dissuade Pablo from the hipster part of this. But yeah, when I actually turned 21, which was also up there, I remember we went to a local pizza place that was fantastic that no longer exists, sadly, and um, I had Horny Monk and then Oberon and then Two Hearted. And I was a very happy camper. Yeah, I get you, Dilly. Especially because you're a little bit older than me. No shade. And so that means that more of your life was kind of before craft beer really took off, right? I-bomb was fun here until I got one shot. Yeah. Carl with precision has a way of doing that, doesn't he? By the way, if anybody doesn't know this particular piece of the lore, Jessica being called Jewel here, her lore is that she, in her younger days, was a hero called Jewel, and she did wear spandex, which is where the line in there about, like, you don't have the budget to get me back into a bedazzled outfit comes from. Um, Fun facts, because it was a nice little piece of dialogue. I think I am probably going to pause here and come back to this maybe tomorrow. I don't want to throw my sleep schedule off too much. Okay, but this is what I'll be getting. That's solid. What sig is my count? I'll check in a minute. I think he's like 40 or something. Not very high. Yep, remembered that one. Yeah, I think that is fair critique, clubs. funny, Dilly. I haven't really run into that. I was closer to the city, and my high school was decently tall. Don't really remember getting that opinion when I went into small towns, but I take your word for it. Yeah, I get that, Snoops. Absolutely. Extra crit rate does not do anything for bullseye now. Yeah, I hear you on that, Easy. You may or may not have been here the other day when I did this, but take a look at Mysterio there. He's Natsig 200, and I took him to rank 3 because rank 3s are relatively cheap for me, and I was like, you know what, I'll find a use for him. And, well, there's one use for him. One thing that would be really nice about this view is if it showed SIG ratings. Or SIG levels. I'm going to go poke on that tomorrow, because I knew Sauron was high SIG, but that should be easier to follow. All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you all for hanging out, and I'll see you again soon.